Turn the music off. What's up, everybody? We've got another VOD review today. Hope everybody had a good, happy new year. So for the first VOD review of 2023, we're coming at you with Brigitte, which I thought would be a nice little change of pace because there's not much Brigitte gameplay out there to VOD review. So, without further ado, I have a bit of an introduction. So this is somebody we VOD reviewed for, before, and I actually think this was the last Brigitte VOD review we did. And if memory serves me right, they were in low diamond, and now they're in plat 1. So let me get into the introduction, and we can go from there with it. So rank is plat 1. I've been getting deranked a bit due to poor matchmaking. I started out as Lucio but quickly went Brig the rest of the way. I think this could be a good example of what Brig can do in the right situation. I liked your VOD review you gave me last time and wanted to submit this one to you so you could have another Brig game for your channel. Hope it helps, and thanks ahead of time. Alright, so we're going to have a little bit of Lucio and then a bunch of Brigs. So I accidentally skipped a little too far ahead, but whatever. So all right, I see the Hammond on the other team, and I'm guessing that's why he's going to go Brig. So I will say this to anybody watching: if the enemy team goes Hammond, I've seen Brig farm Hammond at an incredible rate. She puts out crazy numbers against Hammond. Problem is there's very few Hammonds out there, so, you know. But yeah, if you get that kind of a situation, that's a very good counter. Over New Year's weekend, I played a lot of Overwatch. I did pull out Brig a couple times this weekend, against some Winstons. And I do want to just throw this out here before we get into this VOD review. So, because this is a bit of knowledge I feel like I obtained over New Year's weekend, and I'm not sure where I'll be able to fit this bit of knowledge in, but I'd like to get it out there. So if the enemy team goes Winston and his dome isn't breaking, and you find people are dying inside of his dome, Brig can be a good counter to Winston in that scenario because not a lot of healers can heal through a shield. So if your team's dying inside of it, Brig is one of the few that can get healing inside of the shield. And then on top of that, she can kind of brawl inside of a Winston dome and get away with it. You know, certain things might affect what I'm saying to that degree, but in the game that I did it in, I was able to live inside the Winston dome and heal anybody that was inside of it. Ultimately, you would want your DPS to be swapping first. So it's one of those things where you're going to kind of have to use your best discretion on, but I just wanted to throw that out there for anybody looking for excuses or reasons to play Brig. That could be another reason. So looking at our team comp, I actually think going Brig is a pretty reasonable swap here because outside of the initial speed boost out of spawn, I don't see a lot of use for speed boosting a team like this. And in terms of beat drop, and granted you wouldn't know this yet, but they've got Sombra, so Sombra could counter your beat drop. And then after that, it's like, well, what are you really beating, you know, to try to counter something anyway? Maybe a high noon, maybe the mines, but beat drop's not the greatest counter for those. I mean, it can maybe work, but it's all situational. So in terms of team comp, if we sub out the Lucio for Brig, and considering we know you're going to get at least some form of feeding off of the Hammond, I could totally see that working. And the only other thing I could maybe say would be Anna, just for the anti, because they're not playing Kiriko. Anti could be valuable under the circumstances of these two and this one, not so much Hammond or Moira. But yeah, I think Brig is totally reasonable hero to play here. So let's dig into this and get right into it. I'm just gonna fast forward the Lucio part. We'll play it at two speeds just so we can kind of see it, but yeah, see, you ended up dying right away too, so that's not good. Okay, so now, alright, yeah, we're basically Brig right from the beginning then. We're gonna speed ahead just to get you into the fight here. Okay, so we got armor packs to everybody right out the gate. You close the distance, you get a whip shot in. You're producing a lot of Inspire, getting another shot in at the tank. Another whip shot lands. Oh, they've got a Brig now. Missed a shield bash. You get booped forward. You seemed a little confused on where to look there. You got another shield bash, another whip shot in. The Inspire's going off. Keeping your shield up. Don't take that extra damage if you don't need to. You could rest your... Yeah, okay, I was about to say, you could rest your shield, get that fully healed. Healed your Kiriko, that's good. Wait, your Reaper's dead. Where did Reaper die? Oh, Reaper's away from everybody. Yeah, unless you were just with the Reaper kind of... He veered off a bit. So we got mines. So for anybody that doesn't know, if you start swinging away at mines, that does the Inspire proc for the healing around Brigitte. So it's another reason why Brig counters Hammond. If you can swing away at mines and be a minesweeper, you're healing anybody around you.
Let me help you with that.
Another whip shot. Okay, you're swinging on the healer, swinging on the healer. Took out another mine, another whip shot. Gotta get out of the... Yep, okay, good. So, the Moira's focusing you down. You used your shield bash to close distance on getting out of line of sight from the Moira. That's good, because you were going to die if you did not do that. So, using shield bash as a mobility... for Brig can be invaluable for her current Overwatch 2 kit. Don't be afraid to use Shield Bash to either close distance or to get away from somebody, break line of sight, kind of like right here. That's a good example of that. Otherwise, you've got Whip Shot. You could probably hit Hammond here, or throwing an armor pack at your Junker Queen. I'm good with either. Let's see what you do. Okay, well, Whip Shot on Moira, that works too. You shield bash the Hammond, that kind of slows his momentum down, irritates him. You got an armor pack on the Junker Queen. So it's a 2-on-2, I think, right now, isn't it? Let's see. Yeah, it's a... Wait, is it? No, it's a 2-on-1. Why did I think there was somebody else here? Oh, the Kiriko just died. Okay. Oh, wait. Moira's right over there. Okay, yeah, it is a 2-on-2. So, alright. Well, actually, it's about to be a 3-on-2. We've got Sombra chilling over here, and she's about to enter the fray. I could see you ulting this, and I could... I'm guessing you're gonna ult here, and oh boy, I don't know. This seems like a fight that's just gonna be stalled. So let's see what you do here. Oh, you're getting hacked. Oh, good kill on the Sombra. Very, very nice. Okay, your team's coming back. Wow. Did you...
Enemy is in possession of the robot.
Still being contested. Your team's got it. Still being contested. I'm actually surprised you didn't ult there.
On my way.
Put your back into it.
I almost want to say it's better that you didn't ult because your team didn't need it. Or did they?
Goodbye.
Yeah, I mean, they won it without it, so... Okay, you ping the Ana, that's good. I'd almost like to see your Kiriko go up there and try to harass that Ana. Assuming they're a lot. Where are they? Oh yeah, they're right there. So yeah. So if you're in a position where you can kind of poke away at an Ana and maybe even get the pick, especially if you're Kiriko, like, and you get that ping, go up there and take a couple shots. Like, if you get antied, you can cleanse it. Obviously, if you get slept, that would be the one thing that would, like, really be bad. But, you know, if you've got some good mobility to yourself, you're strafing around a little bit, I think it's totally fine to go up there if you're that Kiriko. And okay, so your healing proc has just been inspired, and you got hacked. Uh-oh, Brigitte. Oh, you're popping your ult now? Okay. Oh, you took him out. Good. Good job. Don't get Brigitte.
Push started. Let's go.
That's interesting. This might be one of the first times in a while I've seen two teams running Brig. Oh, they went Lucio now. I wonder why they went Brig to begin with.
What's up?
That's a little bit of an odd choice. I think honestly, if you're trying to support on the enemy team, Lucio's a bad pick. Ana's okay. I would suggest Zen here. Zen would be, in my opinion, the right support, because this team needs damage. And then on top of that, you can heal the Hammond from a distance while he just does whatever he does. Now, this Hammond is getting his minefield quite a bit. Or at least it feels like he is. Granted, I don't play Hammond, so I don't... But this feels like a lot. The problem is that these mines haven't been doing anything, and they've actually been a net negative. Oh, you screwed that combo up. Okay, so you had it right the first time you went up against the Sombra, but you could have done it there too. So what you should do is shield bash, swing, whip shot. He shield bash, whip shotted, and then tried to swing. He goofed it up. So yeah, if you're gonna play Brig, shield bash, swing, whip shot is a combo to kill a squishy when you're in that scenario. So keep that in mind.
Let's kick this off. Special delivery.
Okay, armor pack's coming out. Well, you guys are pushing this really deep for this game to only be half in. This Hammond must have a really good stall game later. Or you guys end up losing somehow. You know, with push maps, when it gets to this, when you get to here, or further, you know, somewhere in this range, it's really hard to come back. I've done it. It's been very rare that I do it, but I've done it. But
Hang on, team. My ultimate is almost ready.
okay, smacking away at the Hammond. Get some healing out. Smacked away at him again. Got the shield bash. You're getting a lot of fast shots off on him now. Yeah, I'd like to maybe see an armor pack come out. I would say to Kiriko, but she's antied. I don't know if she's going to cleanse herself or not. Otherwise, you could get one out to the Junker Queen. I like the Junker Queen is a tank worth more of a heavier pocket because she doesn't have armor. So she's a little bit more on the squishier side of the tank spectrum. Yeah, that, I don't know why that Sombra just did what she did.
We have the robot. Get over here.
That was a bad EMP. If they EMP'd like right at the start of that team fight, that would have been a completely different thing. They EMP'd at the end of it when it was already pretty much a lost fight. And then this Hammond's about to come in and feed again. This is a good opportunity for a whip shot. Oh, you missed it. Yeah, so like this minefield right here is just free Inspire time. As long as nobody backs into it. I could see the Junker Queen potentially backing into it, so I'm hoping you maybe throw a couple armor packs her way while you're swinging, and then she's getting double the healing from you. You tried to throw one to her, but it was too little too late, so that's the only thing. And I get that I'm like stopping this and we're like really kind of nuancing this versus watching this in real. Let's watch this in real time once just to showcase what I mean here. Yeah, you see how fast that happens? Like, I stopped that at like the perfect time to showcase that, but like in real time, that's a little bit harder to do. But yeah, those armor packs going into a Junker Queen, trying to really keep the Junker Queen being aggressive, and then start swinging on the mines. But yeah, these mines are just free Inspire time for anybody. Who else is around here right now? You got Kiriko. Well, these guys aren't really going to get the benefit of swinging away at the mines because they're so far forward. I'd like to see these DPS maybe fall back a little bit. See what happens here. Maybe you'll just start swinging away on the Hammond, because that's probably the right play just because nobody's really around you right now. Nope. You probably could have finished off that Hammond right there. So yeah, a little too much focus on the mines here. I'd have probably just focused a little bit more on the Hammond than the mines. Maybe just make sure that you've got a nice little pocket of available space so you don't accidentally get booped or walked into them like the Junker Queen did. But you're just going after all of them, so I would maybe point that out as a... Oop, you missed that whip shot. It was close, but yeah. Okay, shielding some damage. You kept your shield healthy though, so... Okay, we're... Alright. Why are we doing this here? Who's around here? You got Kiriko and you got Reaper versus a very low Hammond, who's only got Lucio healing him at the moment. He's out of range of Ana, but if he falls back, the Ana could heal him. Otherwise, we've got Cassidy, Lucio, and Ana's kind of in the fight, but she's not really there yet. Versus Kiriko, Reaper, and Inspired Brig. And that's it. Other two are in spawn. So you're trying, I guess what you're trying to do is keep the momentum going. Push is a very momentum orientated type of game style. So, yeah, I get it, I guess. If your Kiriko's doing damage, then I guess I could see this working. If your Kiriko's one of the more passive Kirikos that tends to just heal and not do much damage, this might not be the greatest ult. I don't know, let's see how this plays out. Okay, so the Hammond's dead, that's good. That Hammond should have went to his Ana. Yeah, alright, well it pushed him back. You got another whip shot in, good, good. Got another whip shot in, top off the Reaper. Get out of line of sight, because when you're in this little divot, you can't do too much, so getting out of line of sight there is good. Got another whip shot in, good. Sombra's being annoying to somebody. I don't know if I would be chasing that Hammond there. Get your shots in when he passes by and just leave it alone. Although now that there's a high noon happening, it might be beneficial you're back here. Okay. Okay, good. Pocketing and ulting Reaper. Nice. Anna overextends herself and you may punish her for it.
Let's get this on the road.
You guys hear a Sombra, but you don't know where. You get another few shots in on the Hammond. You're hacked, so you can't whip shot. Okay, so you shield bash to close the gap, and you start smacking away on the Hammond. Shield a bit of incoming damage. Rest your shield. Oh, all right, that was a good whip shot. That was pretty close to max range, I would think. That at least it looked like it. The only thing I'd say here is maybe be resting your shield. You do have armor packs, so they inspire. Getting that whip shot could have been dangerous if that Cassidy landed a couple headshots on you. It worked out though, but just pointing that out there, that could have gone south, where if you just kind of hang out behind this little cart here and then rest your shield a little bit, it might have been the better play, because you got armor packs. You can heal anybody that takes a little damage. So that Hammond's coming in, but he's low. You've got a Lucio coming in. See, Lucio's another good hero to smack away with on Brig, but you don't play Brig because there's a Lucio on the map. But this right here is the 1-2 punch. 1 and 2, right? Actually, let me reverse that. This is the punch 1, this is the punch 2. But these are 2 dive characters that are going to feed Brig. Unless the Lucio plays a certain way, and he doesn't seem like he's doing that. So in this case right here, it doesn't really matter who you're smacking away at, because they've got the Lucio beat drop and there's mines around. So there's a lot of things to be smacking away with with the mace. When the beat drop ends, if Hammond hasn't been healed, you can go for him first. But if he does get healed enough after this beat drop ends that he's at least like mid health, go for the Lucio. Alright, so you basically body block the Hammond there. He's not getting healed, so going for the Hammond might actually work here. Oh, yeah. Your team moved up on you. That's a little unfortunate.
Get pushing, or I'll take your legs off.
A ping there might have been nice, pinging either the Lucio or the actually, I think they let's go back on this once. I think the mines separated you from your team, actually. Yeah. Your team's on the other side of the mines. Okay. Alright, I got it. So, alright, there could have been... So, alright. If you were more aware to where your team was, one of 2 things could have happened. You could have been either pinging the 2 targets back here, and then maybe your team turns around and comes through here and comes to help you. Or you come up here and then join your team. Because the Lucio and the Hammond weren't going to kill you if you do that, I don't think. That would have been the right play, although that I had to kind of go back and relook at that, so I don't blame you for not doing that in live action, but I think that would have been the correct play there. Trying to just get back to your team, or getting your team to you. Okay, so you're almost back to your team. Everybody but May is there. You've got Rally. You just lost your tank, so probably not a winnable fight at this point. I would just get out. Get out and wait for your team to get back. Yeah, oh boy, you're you're stuck behind enemy lines here. I think the Anna knows you're there. Does she know you're there? Yeah, she's looking for you. Uh-oh, is the Lucio gonna come for you? Lucio's coming for you, but you're moving. Wait a minute. I got on the wrong hero. Let's go back. Okay, so we're behind enemy lines. You go back and peek. The Anna sees you.
Enemy turret ahead.
Oh, then there's people coming out of spawn, and there's a... When did they go Torb? I didn't even see that. Okay, so now you got a Torb turret shooting at you. Get the... Okay, yeah, you're going for the health pack. Good.
All patched up.
Yeah, so, alright. If that Lucio were alone, that's a good fight to pick, but that Lucio's got a Cassidy, like, not too far behind him. You don't want to pick that fight because that nade alone is going to either take your shield out and then he just rolls away and just shoots you from a distance, or him and the Lucio kill you together. Like, that's not a fight you can win. So you taking a couple swings on the Lucio just to get your Inspire going for any random damage you do take and then getting out, that's a good job. I like that. Don't like that whip shot. I mean, I see what you're trying to do, but accuracy's a little off. Oh, everyone's converging on you now. Okay, Kiriko saves you, heals you, good. Good job on the Kiriko, you got a whip shot in. Okay, I like the rally. Your team is either all... I think everybody, but where's your Hanzo? Oh, Hanzo's coming out of spawn, but everybody else is here. So I'm okay with this rally. You'll be able to keep everybody topped off if anybody takes damage beyond the armor with the mines. Otherwise, everybody's going to have armor for this fight. Okay, you're making... The other thing is you got to make space for your team here because you're all kind of surrounded in the mines. So... Ooh, now you took a bunch of mines. Did you whip shot a mine? Don't whip shot mines unless you're like desperate to get healing off. I always love Brig when she's swinging away in the Kiriko ult. Try not to take those crazy whip shot attempts though, like that one up in the air. That's a difficult one to hit, so you're asking a lot of yourself to land that one. Like, he's not gonna stay up there, so, you know, just wait a little bit. A little bit of patience could go a long way there.
Overtime.
Stop them and it's over. I'll cover you. You're a real lifesaver.
Okay, so is this about to snowball in the other team's favor? They're pushing it in overtime. You win one team fight, you win the game at this point. Otherwise, they gotta basically go the whole way. We've got, like, a whole minute to go here. Can they get that in a whole minute? I don't think they can.
Looking better already. I'm taking damage.
That Torb turret's gonna be an issue. Hanzo or Junker Queen has to take that turret out. Whatever that turret's shooting at, unless it's your shield, is doing valuable damage to somebody. And even if it's shooting at your shield can't take a lot of that. So that turret could be a game changer here. Hanzo has to take that out. Maybe Junker Queen. Tracer could, but... Oh man, your shield just melted. Okay, good. Smack away at the Hammond. Oh, you found Anna kind of... alone? Nice. You took Anna out. You got... Oh, you took both healers out. Awesome. Oh, and you took Cassidy out. Dude just took out 3 people. Look at that. Whew. In overtime? I told you guys when I did my support rankings that Brig is underrated in the right circumstances. The problem is these circumstances don't come up very often, but when they do, take advantage of them. This is the epitome of what Overwatch is, counter picking. At least in terms of this player. And in terms of the enemy... Okay, so let's look at this real quick here, just because this game's about to end. So, let me finish my thought first. So, in terms of counter picking, I love what our player here did going Brig to counter the Hammond. The caveat to that is Team 1 is stuck with a Hammond one trick that's not swapping off, and he's costing his team dearly. Yeah, he's getting a lot of mines. He is. But how many mine deaths have we really seen? I don't think we've seen more than maybe 2. I remember Junker Queen dying to mines once, but other than that, I don't think we've seen anything. And there's so many good tank ults in this game right now. There's so many good ones. I mean, Ramatra is the obvious one. Let's pretend this Hammond player doesn't have Ramatra unlocked, so that one's just off the table. You still could go... I mean, God, there's so many good ones here. Diva would be good because there's really no shield. Because if they go Diva, I'm betting our player doesn't go Brig. So then this Team 2 doesn't have a shield. That's just one option. You could go Sigma and lift them up off of the robot. You could go Orisa and suck them all in and do damage. You could go Winston and punch them all off. I mean, Hammond is like, it's seriously one of the worst tanks in the game. I mean, I can see Hammond working occasionally, but it usually has more to do with how the other team responds to the Hammond. Do they chase Hammond? Do they give him too much attention? Does that open things up for the Hammond DPS players to shoot at them when they're chasing around a ball they can't get to? You know, then, yeah, Hammond works. But once you start getting into upper tier ranks, a lot of teams just ignore the Hammond until he comes to you, and then you smack him away. But tanks tend not to die in Overwatch 2 until the rest of the team dies. So if you ignore the Hammond and you kill everything else, guess what's going to happen to the Hammond? He's going to die. That's why Hammond he doesn't fit Overwatch 2 play style very well. It just doesn't. Yeah, it just doesn't. So this turret is still going though. Hopefully this turret doesn't cause too much trouble, and you can't tank that damage because your shield's dead. So then the mines come out, and then I like what you do here. This is what I wanted to say here. So the mines come down, but they're not active just yet. You've got like a second and a half or so before those mines go active. You shield bash out of the mines. Remember what I said about using shield bash as a distance maker or closing distance? In this case, you used it to get out of the minefield while it was still safe to do it. And at this point now, this Hammond has just given you so much lifeblood because you're out of the minefield. You can swing at the mines to heal people. You can swing at the Hammond and just kill him because, I mean, he's basically one anyway. One whip shot, maybe a smack, shield bash, and he's done. But if there were more people here, you could be swinging away at these mines, and there's just going to be a lot of healing coming out. Yeah, and he's dead, and game over. So, yeah. So I think Brig over here worked very, very well. So one, whip shot selection. So your whip shot selection could have used a little bit of work, but generally speaking, I mean, I think you landed most of them, but you did take a couple wild ones here and there, so that could have been worked on a little bit. Two, the focus on mines. There was that one time you focused on the mines a little too much. that could have maybe been avoided. And then you maybe could have kept your Junker Queen alive. Maybe. I say maybe because, like, if you topped her off and then she ate those minefields, she would have been back to 1 again. And then at that point, they might have just died anyway. But it's a play you could have potentially made. And then 3, being with team. I'll just say being with team. Not that you weren't with the team a lot, but that one case where you were battling the Hammond and the Lucio and you were behind the robot and then your team got kind of pushed in front of the minefield. You could have potentially closed that distance to get back to your team, or you could have pinged and maybe got your team to just focus on the mines to get back to you. That was another one that I saw that could have maybe been looked at, worked on a little bit. Generally speaking, though, this was a pretty clean Brig game in terms of what I know for how to play Brig. I thought this was fairly good. And I do kind of feel that some of these are a little on the nitpicky side. I do want to add one fourth one. There was one point in the kind of earlier part of the VOD where I suggested that maybe alting could have helped that one team fight, and then we watched and you didn't do it, and then you ended up dying a little later, and then your team kind of won the team fight a bit, but then it kind of got recontested and they kind of started to push it again. Alting there could have been an interesting scenario to maybe both keep you going and keeping the momentum going. I do feel on these push maps, trying to play the momentum game can go a long way. So sometimes being overly aggressive with ultimates to keep that momentum going can be a valuable tool. It ended up working out, obviously. And yeah, I feel bad for Team 1 having to deal with that Hammond, because that Hammond definitely cost them that game. Like, imagine if that Hammond went anything else. This whole game plays out completely differently. Probably for a lot of reasons, because then our player probably would have had to have gone off a Brig, most likely. But thank you for the VOD for us to watch, and I hope you guys learned something from this, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.